What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another dividends video. In this one, we're going to cover HRZN, also known as Horizon Technology Finance. Now, this one, I want to jump right into it and get it right to you guys. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I'm putting out at least one video a week, giving you guys absolutely free content that's going to help you guys, whether it's long-term, short-term, just in finance and everything like that. So that being said, let's jump back to the video. Okay guys, so Horizon is actually going to be very similar to other ones that we have covered. Again, we like to look at the overall picture. When you're looking at dividend stocks, do not just look at when it comes down to a yearly or the year to date, because they can be deceiving depending on how a certain company's doing, if they've had big acquisitions or something like that. So HRZN, when it comes down, again, this is not a growth stock. This is strictly a dividend stock. And so HRZN, big thing it's going to compare to is PTY. And why I'm going to compare it to PTY, not only is PTY a great stock to hold if you can get it at the right price, but it's going to pay monthly dividends, and they kind of do the same thing. So it's around the same price point as PTY, and they do the same things actually to make their money. Now, we're going to compare this real fast. Horizon, again, $17.20, really unchanged after hours. It's probably not going to. They've paid 10 cents pretty freaking consistently over time. So, and then the other thing is they haven't really lost value. Since inception, it's been about 14, 15 bucks. Dips down into right around, it looked like at about $12, $13, about $12.50, $13. It did get into the nines or mid nines and then got back up again. And then in 2020, of course, or late 2019, you guys all know COVID happened, 2020. And then we're rebuilding and everything. And now we're back up to $17.10, which is a pretty high premium compared to others. Now, this is a closed-end fund, of course, so you're probably not going to find this on Robinhood. But this fund is pretty solid, honestly. Now, we like to go on ahead and look, remember, this is a 7% dividend yield. I mean, this dividend is going to be pretty much just consistent every single week or every single month. 10 cents, you're just going to get your same dividend. And you're going to allow it to compound. Again, this isn't my number one stock whatsoever. I do think that there are better picks. But this is a solid one. If you wanted to pick up a couple hundred shares of this one and just hold it forever, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, again, when it comes down to this, I don't like this $17.20 price point. Now, again, like I've said before, when I originally bought PTY, I got it for a steal thanks to COVID. And when I was buying when actually I think it was JP Morgan and other financial institutions actually bought into it. And now they've, of course, sold out of it. And I've sold some off and stuff like that. And I've moved it to other monthly dividend stocks. Now, this one is where we really want to compare. You guys know the rules. We start with $1,000. We put $500 in it every single month because that is the average car payment in America. And then we are going to put HRZN in here. My caps, I guess, is not on. I'm going to change this. And you guys can do this all on your own. I tell everybody, make sure there's a portfolio visualizer. These are tools that you guys can do. Make sure you're doing your own due diligence. Make sure you know what you're doing. So S&P 500 ETF, PIMCO, PTY, and then Horizon. So you guys are going to see here, this is actually going to be a pretty close battle. And SPY's going to win just barely. And actually, second overall is actually going to be Horizon. It actually beats out PTY. Now, the reason I think it's really beating out PTY right now is because PTY cut its dividend. It did not cut it dramatically. It cut it from 13 cents to 11 cents. So don't be like, oh my God, it cut its dividend and you're not getting a dividend. That is not true. Remember that. So how do these companies make their money? And this is the biggest thing that people always forget about, it seems like. And on Seeking Alpha, you're not going to be able to see it. But when it comes down to basically what these companies actually do, and you guys can read through and understand, they are debt players. So when I say debt, what do I mean by debt? It means they are buying corporate debt from companies that are more than likely going to pay them, and then they make their money off the interest and things like that. So if you want to dig more into that, feel free to dig more into that. But this is actually a decent company to buy. I am actually surprised because I have not ran this here. You're actually outperforming it. Now, when it comes down to the income, you're probably really, really close. So actually, yeah, here you're going to see in 2021, they're pretty identical just for the fact that PTY cut its dividend. So if PTY wouldn't have cut its dividend here 3/4 of the way through the year, PTY would be slightly higher. But right now, since Horizon, you would actually get a little bit of a better income. And Horizon actually beat it last year, probably because you're going to own more shares over time. You can see there are years that PTY consistently beat it. Again, 2020, it just didn't, and you're probably getting more shares because the price went down a little bit. But again, we've had a good year. Overall, obviously here, Horizon, you're going to be about $20,000 higher, which is pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it's pretty good. And then the SPY, if again, depends on what you're looking for, whether you need to be investing into these dividend income funds. If you're like me, I like that extra income and it's building every single month. So for instance, I have a friend, he invests into companies just like this as well as other growth stocks. Now, it does not mean that he is just putting it all in one, but he's going to make an extra, if he puts $2,000 into certain stocks, he's going to make an extra $20 every single month, plus the compounding effect, so he will make more as long as he holds on to it. Now, me and him are both big on, for instance, if we buy Horizon and PTY is at such a premium that we think we need to sell, we will sell some shares and then buy into, if Horizon's lower or a QYLD is super low, buy into a QYLD, get a little bit of a higher yield on that, make some money, of course, make sure that's going up. And then if we see a big drop in PTY, Horizon, UTG or UCG, what's the utility one, we'll buy into things like that and allow our monthly income to continue to rise. And that's just how we do it. You do not have to do that. The best way to do it for most people is to literally set your money into a SPY, or if you wanted to do a monthly income fund, Horizon, a PTY, things like this, and let it absolutely just sit there. Now, historically, Horizon is beating PTY, so I actually like it, and I should probably pick up more of this. Now, I'm not happy about the overall price of this because you guys got to remember, when we run this test, this is based off of inception. If we go back and we look at the actual price of this, the inception was at $14.85. So if you can pick this one up at around $15, it looks like you're getting a really, really solid deal compared to PTY, which is obviously trading. Well, I think it dropped actually. Yeah, let's get the actual price on this. And again, it's by PIMCO. So about $18. So honestly, right now, you're probably looking. Now, PIMCO has done extremely, extremely well with this fund. The capital appreciation has been pretty decent. So, and there's months where you're buying shares at a way cheaper price. So like back here, again, you guys can guess where I was buying into this one at. I did not pinpoint the bottom. You guys can kind of guess where I bought this one when I found out JP Morgan and other funds were buying it, and I found out about PTY. So, you do your own due diligence. Make sure you guys know, again, it's HRZN. Horizon Technology Finance is the ticker. It's a closed-end fund. Make sure you guys go and do more due diligence on yourself. There are some, you can see the NAV on it. So if we go in here, HRZN NAV, it'll probably actually pull it up. BDC Investor. So it's going to have multiple things like this, but you guys can go through. You guys can find the navigation price compared to it and do your own due diligence. With that being said, guys, thank you guys all for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.